Well, welcome everybody, and thank you so much for joining us for today's presentation for the Resilient Veteran Program. My name is Ian Tucker, and I am a library assistant with the Springfield-Greene County Library District. I am your host this evening and will be monitoring the chat for technical difficulties and concerns as they arise. This evening's presentation is by Kerry Miller from the Wellness for Warriors organization, and a recorded version of this event will be posted on the library's YouTube channel in coming weeks. As we get started, like I was saying, this is our YouTube link if you'd like to go there to see our other presentations. After the interview portion, you'll have an opportunity to ask your questions. You can use the chat function located at the bottom of your screen at any time during the presentation to share your questions or if you need assistance. And then of course, stick around to the end of our presentation to hear about related book recommendations. Now I'll hand things over to Kerry and we'll get started.
Well, thank you, Ian. It is so good to be here with you. And I am Kerry, one of the co-founders of Wellness for Warriors. And our mission is to help heroes, and that is our active military, our veterans, first responders, and their families. And along with the Cox Health vision, it is to be the best for those that need us. So when we started this whole journey, we were thinking about you, those of you out there watching this. We want to make a difference in your life. So let's go to the next slide. I was looking forward to saying that, next slide. So When we started this program, there were three of us, myself, Molly Estes, who at that time was the mind and body coordinator at the Meyer Fitness Center, Nancy Prost, who at that time was our class manager. We wanted to focus on 4 pillars of wellness for our heroes, and that is the physical, the mental, and emotional, and spiritual. We do believe it's kind of like you got to address every aspect of wellness, if you will, in order to, get to where you need to be, wherever that is. So, example, you can do 100 push-ups. Well, Ian, I don't know if you can do 100 push-ups.
I'll try.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that some other show, okay? But you can do 100 push-ups, but if you're messed up internally, maybe you've experienced something. So a lot of our military, they've seen things while they were deployed, experiences. I know I've had them. I lost my first marriage while we were at Fort Sam Houston. So I get it. And you can look good on the outside, but hurting on the inside. And so we really want to address all these aspects of wellness in order to, be the best we can be. And so we're really excited about that. And when we started that program, that's what we looked at. So when we were engaging with our community, we were addressing all these different aspects. So next slide, Ian.
All right.
First of all, I want to thank all our sponsors. We couldn't do it without them. Of course, Cox Health. We are under the umbrella of Cox Health, and they have given us a green light to move forward and just make a difference in the lives of our veterans in our community. We'll be sharing about a program we're getting ready to start in just a few minutes, but it's really exciting. Anchor Tactical, they've been with us since almost day one when we first started putting out our t-shirts. They were our first t-shirt sponsor, and if you've never been to Anchor Tactical, they're over there on, was that Campbell?
Yep. It's near the Andes, right? Or
yeah,
no, it's,
yeah, I figured
yep.
you could over that. Yeah, and then right north of, I think it's north of Sunset, but Anchor Tactical is a pretty good place. Wooden Houston Bank, they have been a part of us for a couple of years now. This past year during COVID, Mitchell Chiropractic and Rehabilitation came on board as a sponsor. And they're just not too far down the street from Cox South. And I saved United Healthcare for the last because I'm proud to say that last year they sponsored us for $5,000. We just sent them an invoice for $20,000. So we're really grateful for that. And we'll be able to help a lot of people because of their generosity. So I just want to thank all our sponsors. We have other people that have made individual donations. In fact, we're getting ready to have a meeting tomorrow about Wellness for Warriors and our financial strategy. Because all the money, none of us, I don't get paid. Molly, Nancy, nobody gets paid to run Wellness for Warriors.
Mm.
So we're all part of a different department at Cox Health. We all work together as a team to make this a reality. So every penny that comes into our organization goes straight into those we serve. So that's really exciting.
Awesome.
Move on to the next slide, Ian. So one of the things that I love about what you're doing and is collaboration. As you can see, this is a resource page we put together for veterans. And these are people that we collaborate with, that we work with. And so we're always looking to refer people, you know, veterans or current military, to whatever they need. So sometimes, like this one is what, about a month, I think a month old, but we've added some things. I had a meeting the other day with Veteran Service Organization, VSOs. Actually, I've got a complete list now of all the VSOs throughout our region, which is really cool. And so we're able to help people that just need connected. Maybe they need benefits or whatever it is. We can get them connected where they're at. So that's really cool.
That's awesome.
And working with other organizations, kind of what you're doing, you know, let our veteran community know about, you know, different organizations that are making a difference in the life of our veterans. And one person that's with us today, Dr. Tommy Good with Moral Injury Institute. We're constantly promoting him and what he's doing. He's made a huge, huge difference in our community. And we're just so grateful for him and many others that work with our veterans. And then I think your last one was with Sheepdog, and we collaborate with them. We actually were a few months ago, well, prior to the winter, we had an event with them that we were part of. So love what they're doing. And I just now promoted that YouTube page onto our social media page. So really cool. But yeah, what we want to do is connect veterans with whatever they need with, and we have this, what we call 24-hour window. So Ian, let's say you called me up and said, hey, I need this. We want to make sure that same day you have the resources and connections you need. So we really take pride in that. And it's really exciting when, you know, people call us and say, wow, most people wait 6 months before they get back with me, you know, so we really take pride in getting back with them that same day. So let's go to the next one. Coffee. Sorry, I get up at 3:20 in the morning during the week, so
Oh, geez.
I probably drink way too much of coffee, so don't judge me, but it helps me get through. So we've had the opportunity in the past to speak with the American Hospital Association National Conference. This was a few years ago, and we were able to talk about our mission and vision. And what's so cool is just recently I had a conversation with a collaborator up in Kansas City, and she was telling me that there are hospital systems reaching out to what she's doing in order to engage with the communities they serve. And so what we encouraged all the hospitals to do was to create a program of collaboration of resources for this veteran population. And now we're starting to see it spread across the nation, which is really cool. And this April 12th and 14th, we've been asked to speak at the Caring for the Human Spirit virtual conference. It will be virtual. So myself, Amy Cruz, who is part of our tactical wellness team, her focus is on first responders. I focused mostly this presentation on veterans, but she works with first responders, and so that's part of the population we serve. So she's going to be there, and then Brian Mason, our chaplain for Wellness for Warriors, will be there to speak. So looking forward to that opportunity to reach a lot of people across the nation as well. So next one.
Sure, real quick, I know
Yes.
even with Sheepdog, there were also first responders. So a lot of the organizations that were coming in, it's dual purpose, veterans and first responders. So I thought I'd add that just in case anybody was wondering.
Very good observation. And I had a conversation this morning before yours. And one of the things we talked about, you know, in the military, we might be deployed a year, right? We might go somewhere, Afghanistan, Iraq, wherever. But our first responders that serve us locally, they're deployed every day.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's good to get behind them as well. So Ian, we're really excited about this program. And I know Tommy and I have talked about how many veterans are in Southwest Missouri. So when you, and I'm sure you've done your own research, Ian, in Southwest Missouri, there's a lot of veterans, but also current military when you think about it. Here in Springfield, Missouri, we have the reserve units. We have 2 National Guard. So the one on the north side of town and over by the airport. And then we have Fort Leonard Wood, where I did my basic training, just up the road on 44. We have Whiteman Air Force Base just north of us. I mean, and then, so we have a lot of active duty military in this area, plus veterans. And so prior to COVID, before COVID, I'm sure you hear that a lot, our CEO, Stephen Edwards, came to us and said, I want to honor our veteran patients. And so I don't have the exact numbers, but we were working with a department already with their veteran patients, and they had about a 7% of their population was veterans. So this program that we're going to do is system-wide. So here in Springfield, it's going to be implemented at Cox South, Meyer Rehab Hospital, Cox North, also in Branson, in Monette, and Barton County. So if you haven't been to our new hospital in Monette, it's beautiful. And our hospital in Barton County, it looks like a winter lodge. It is just amazing. But what we're going to do, we got with SI3 and all the IT people. It is now mandatory. So, excuse me, if let's say you, for whatever reason, come to us as a patient, you're going to be asked, Ian, do you have military service? And then you're going to say yes or no. And they're also going to be given the option of whether they want to be honored or not. You know, some do, some don't. But what we're going to do once we identify if they're a veteran, so for the inpatient, they're going to be given once a day with their meals, a tray mat that's patriotic. Thank you for your service to our nation. We are honored to serve you. It's signed by our CEO, Steve Edwards. Then they're going to get a card of appreciation. We have a card for each location, Springfield, Branson, Barton County, and Monette. Also, what I'm holding in my hand, these cards are going to be going to our super clinics that we're building. Also, outpatient clinics like Farrell Duncan Clinic, which is a big clinic, and then Cox Health at Home, which they work with a lot of outpatient veteran population as well. So they're going to get all those cards as well to just say thank you for serving us. Now, you know, it's an honor to serve you. And then the American flag there. So if you're looking at your screen on the right, it's going to go on the door. These are for inpatient veteran patients. It's going to go on the door so the staff will know this is a patient. But we're going to be running reports, and it's really exciting. And that, you know, what's going on. This will be system-wide. So everywhere Cox Health has a building, we're going to be honoring our inpatient veterans, our outpatient veterans. And we've not gone live yet with this program. There's a lot of education and training on the backside of it. And then one of the things that our CEO really wanted to do, and if I get a little emotional, forgive me, we did a dry run yesterday, and that is to do a final salute. If we have a veteran that passes away with us, we're going to do a final salute for them. And it's going to, you know, right now with COVID, even though the numbers are going down, people are getting vaccinated, I think things are looking better. But we're going to engage with the family. When transport comes in to make that transition, we're going to take the family basically out in the hallway while they prep the room. And then we will have a flag draped over the body as they escort the body out. And it's just going to be a time to honor the veteran for their service and also the family. So really excited about this program. And you know, it's when I came here 5.5 years ago, almost 6 years ago now. Wow, that this has been one of my dreams, is to see us honor our veteran population, and this is really going to be cool. So really excited about that, and so looking forward to that. You got any questions about that, Ian? I know that's
I do. This is such a cool program. So for our listeners, let's say I end up in a Mercy hospital. Can I still contact you?
Oh. Well, you can contact me. So these items are going to be for Cox Health patients.
Okay.
Now, what we are hoping, and like I mentioned kind of earlier with some of the similar stuff, is seeing other hospital organizations do similar things. So one of the things about Wellness for Warriors, even though we're part of Cox Health, is that we believe in community. And so we have relationships with Mercy, and but as far as this specific program, it will be for Cox Health patients.
Okay. And then if I wanted to write on the cards, or if I wanted to do, give a card to a veteran at Cox Health, is that something you can do, or is it only kind of a Wellness for Warriors program that deliver the cards?
Oh, I tell you what, we had just not too long ago, Missouri State University, their students wrote, I don't know how, I didn't count them. They made a bunch of handmade cards, and they brought them to us, and we were able to distribute them to our veteran population.
That's awesome.
We have a lady that works at our outpatient therapy team over at Meyer, and she makes her own homemade veteran cards and first responder cards. And I mean, there's other things going on. Branson's been doing this for a while. This program is going to be system wide, but we have pockets of departments and people that do things on their own. So this is just adding to that, and it's going to be easier to identify our veteran population. And so really cool. But if you, let's say you had a group that wanted to honor, you would, you could do that. Let us know, and we'll get them to our veteran patients. That's for sure.
Awesome. And then this kind of ties in with Mercy. So if I have somebody that's in hospice, can I contact you, and kind of like what services would you provide then?
What we try to do, no matter where the veteran patient is with Wellness for Warriors, what is their need? And so really, I think what you're doing, Ian, is a tremendous service to this community. So whether it's Mercy or Jordan Valley or wherever, if they are treating veteran patients, hopefully they will reach out to, whether it's us or whether it's Sheepdog or whether it's, the Moral Injury Institute. Hey, we have veteran patient that we want to get connected. That's why I had the meeting with the VSOs the other day. How can we better serve this population? And one of the areas of weakness that we've seen is in the evening and weekends. But we're working on that to create, as we increase this resource page, right? There's going to be a lot of more options to reach out, even if it's in the evening or weekend, just to get them connected. Or maybe, as we do this throughout Southwest Missouri, I really believe that, no veteran left behind, no soldier left behind, no sailor left behind. I really think as we grow and communicate and work together, and I think you're a big part of this, Ian. So I've heard your heart from the time we met, and now it's become a reality, even though it's virtual. But with those YouTube videos, guess what? You can send those around the world and inspire many to do what you're talking about. So our Mercies and our other hospital institutions might say, how can I get involved? And so really excited about what you're doing, and I'm just honored to be a part of this. So
thank you very much. I think we have one more slide after this for you. Or is this your last slide?
I don't know. Next slide. This kind of explains what we're going to be doing. So yeah, the patient will register, and then we will honor them with these items. and then we'll do the final salute. And I was at the Veterans Home in Mount Vernon. This was before COVID, but one of the members there had passed away, and I was able to be a part of that final salute that they do there. It's very moving. And just yesterday, when we were just, making sure everything's going to work right, it was, it brought tears to my eyes, because I think the percentage now is about 1% of the population here in America serve in the military.
I think so.
When you think about that, that's a very, very small percentage, right? And you think of the history of our nation and the wars that our men and women have been in. And since 9/11, and how old are you, Ian? I mean, you're
24.
Okay, I'm old enough to be your dad. My son's 25. Okay. And one of the things, that we experienced recently was 9/11. And that wasn't really recently. That was back in 01. And then we went to Afghanistan and Iraq, and as well as I do, once we go somewhere, we're going to be there for a long time. And so that 1% of the population really, really, really makes a huge difference in our culture, in our country. And I'm honored to be a part of not only Wellness for Warriors, but this Veteran Honor Program, where we're just going to be able to say thank you, and in their time of need, we're going to be able to. So that's really, really cool. I
totally agree. So I got 2 more questions for you. The first question is, when I contact you and let's say I get like the doormats and the food tray and the thank you notes, does this cost me or my family anything?
No. And the cool thing about Wellness for Warriors, everything we do, it's free to those we serve.
Awesome.
Now, there's other organizations that, there might be a charge or whatever, but we do not charge. So those of us that are part of Wellness for Warriors, for example, when I spoke at the American Hospital Association conference, I didn't get no extra paycheck for that. Okay, when we're doing this virtual conference, we're not getting paid for that. And so, no, and all the resources we use. So we do have some marketing items. We have a brochure, we have a wooden nickel, we have stress balls, a few of those things to be a point of contact, if you will, with our information. But what we've seen since COVID, even a small wooden nickel, it becomes so much more than just a wooden nickel. When we're told to isolate, or we're told to, keep our distance from each other or whatever, what we've seen during this time is the suicide rate. And I know Dr. Tommy Good, when you meet with him, there's a lot of challenges we've seen during this COVID season. And just a little wooden nickel or a point of contact. I'm not going to mention this doctor's name, but I know Dr. Good knows him. But he was walking through the hallway. This was about a month or 2 ago. And I just happened to have with me a stress ball and a wooden nickel with me. And this guy was former military surgeon, one of our doctors now. And I said, hey, I want to give you something. And he took that stress ball and wooden nickel and he grabbed it like it was Christmas. It means a lot. And then during challenging times, something as simple as this can mean a lot. And so when we're talking about, the mental and the emotional and the spiritual and the physical, by building their morale, by encouraging them, I believe it can help change their life, their family's life. And when you're impacting the lives of those in our communities, guess what? Our communities get better. We see the 22, go down. We see people reaching out before they get to that point. And so what you're doing, Ian, is giving people an opportunity to know what's out there and say, hey, can I, get connected? And when we do that, that's a life that's potentially saved. You're on mute, Ian.
There we go. My last question for you, and I think this is our last slide as well. When I contact you, you talked about the 24 hours. What should I expect?
We're going to find out what you need, what, you know, whether it be connected, we'll just keep it simple. Whether you, let's say you need connected with your VA benefits, or maybe, heck, your wife just left you, right? I mean, it could be anything. So we find out your needs, and then we connect you with those resources. And I'm going to give you an example. We had a Marine come to us. This was about 2 or 3 years ago. We had just switched gears with the Wellness for Warriors program. We used to be a light exercise and just, you know, come together and engage and build community. And then we switched it to where we were more intentional by focusing on these pillars of wellness, bringing in education and educators. And we had a Marine come in to us on a Thursday morning, found out what she needed, got her connected with 5 different resources that day. And she's now one of our biggest supporters since then. And so, yeah, when you look at this picture you're showing, you know, this is a single mom, if you will, and her kids, a family, you know, the veteran population. And then, of course, as you mentioned, you know, the first responder world. We do have this philosophy that you're not alone, that we're here to serve. And we just want to let you know that what you can expect is get answers the day you reach out to us. You know, there might be a journey, right? You might need several things, but if we can get that ball starting to turn and get you connected immediately, that's one, it's going to build trust. And 2, it's going to get you motivated to keep moving forward. So yeah, that's what you would expect from us, is instant, like instant potatoes, if you will. You'll get some instant answers and instant connections.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. Let's go to the next slide. I think that concludes. So if anybody has any questions, just go ahead and unmute yourself, or if you'd like, you can put it in the chat and I can tell Kerry as well. Yeah,
and if y'all want to reach out to us, or Ian knows how to get a hold of us, our email is wellnessforwarriors@coxhealth.com, and it's wellness for FOR warriors@coxhealth.com. But we're here to serve. And Ian, if there's anything you need from us, you just let us know.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And I think before we go, do you know your number? I know you said your email, just in case I want to call you, or if anybody wants to call you.
I'm going to do something just for you, Ian. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you my cell phone number. And this is for anybody that's watching this video, if they need connected or more information. So my number is 417-827-7979. That's 417-827-7979. Now, there are other people on our team. We usually use the fitness center number, but because of COVID and all the challenges we've had here at the hospital, I just want you guys to have my cell phone number, and then we find out what you need, and then we'll get everybody connected depending on what the need is.
Awesome. All right. So, Kerry, you're free to go if you'd like, or you can stick around. I have a couple book lists for us.
I'd like to hear about them.
So if you'd like to check out any of these books, you can go to our catalog, which is coolcat.org/thelibrary.org. Or excuse me, it's just coolcat.org. Or you can call any of the libraries and talk to a librarian. We'd be happy to set you up with a library card and or get you any of these books. So I wrote a little description about each of these books. So let me stop sharing and I will bring that up for everybody. Okay, I thought I had it ready. Let me look for it real quick. Okay, again, I apologize for this. I had it up and then it disappeared. Okay, here we go. So first book is Call Sign Chaos. It is the new book by James Mattis. is just a biography about himself and his military experience, along with how he developed his unique leadership abilities. The next book we have is Once a Warrior, How One Veteran Found a New Mission Closer to Home. This is by Jake Wood. The description is, with the memories of war, Jake Wood is left to fight his own mental battle from home. To help others and himself, Wood starts Team Rubicon, which serves to be a disaster response organization. And there is a local Team Rubicon in Springfield, and we're hoping to get them on the program as well. The next book is Flags of Our Fathers, and it's an ebook. It's by James Bradley. Read about the iconic picture of the 6 Marines raising the flag on Iwo Jima. Learn about all 6 and their lives following the picture taken. And the last book we have is Grant. It's a biography about Ulysses S. Grant and his life as a military general and president of the United States.